in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogdon.
Hello and welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogdon. A big problem or obstacle, depending on how you want to characterize it, is a lot of people don't know their purpose. They are still trying to figure out why they are here. And if you don't know that and you're in business, then you're not going to be very productive and you're not going to be very successful or happy until you figure that out. So today's expert is really going to help us nail that down. Among other things, I'm speaking with Enrico Massani, and he has the unique intuitive ability to go deep with clients, quickly to uncover their why and lead them to clarity. He is the author of the Joy of Connection book, How to Find Your Coaching Niche. Very important. And he is also known as the Heart Decoder. So if you're tired of being the best kept secret in your field, and if you want more visibility and scalability in your business, working with Enrico will unleash your true self, your essence, help you find your blessing and your true purpose. So joining me from Edinburgh, Scotland, is Enrico Massani. Welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Thank you, Ralph.
So you are the author of the Joy of Connection book, How to Find Your Coaching Niche. Your gift is in the ability to help people find their why, find their purpose, and give them clarity. So I'm interested in how you do that because so many of the people that I talk to or interview on this show or even work with, they seem to struggle with that. And that's a critical thing. So I want to get your thoughts on that. But first, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get started in doing this, and what's your story?
Well, my story is I've always been curious. Always wanted to find out more about what make people tick. I had a very big career in the corporate world, like many of us, and then I just left. And then in the late 1990s, I discovered NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and I became a master practitioner of NLP. And then from then I just moved on from one course led to another. Before that, I had my first real mentor was a healer, and I had a very bad stammer. And together we worked to be able to find out what was where did my stammer came from. And through NLP and healing, I was able to control it. So that led me to really dig into it, and then understanding what were the belief beyond this stammer. What was it all about?
Yeah.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then from then, I just basically from the late 1990s, I became a life coach, and because of the NLP. So I was like many of the coaches that I have worked with since. When you first qualified, you just want to help the world. Everybody with a pulse, you say yes, I can help you. I can help you.
Right.
So I did that, and then many. It didn't really work very well, so I had to go back to corporate for a while, and then I left, and I became a business coach in 2006. And then with that, it was really exciting because I discovered a lot of things about sales and marketing and what is a business, because a lot of coaches they see it as a hobby, or they just want to coach, but it is a business, being a coach, you have a business. You have so many different hats to wear as well, from HR to accounting to coaching to sales and marketing and all that. So, and then 2006, 2008, and 9, and then 2010, the economic crisis came. I know in the US as well. You had that as well.
Exactly.
And then, so that really became a problem for me, because I kind of, I was putting on more and more hours, more and more seminars, more and more this, more and more that. And then I just kind of burned out. I've lost my house, my partner, and everything in late 2010, beginning of 2011. And then from then, what happened then, that I really started to query things, to say, what am I here? What is my purpose? And it took me another 4 years to really find out. So I enlisted a help of a coach in 2015, and then we worked on my purpose. I discovered my essence. What is the essence? From where do I come from? What am I here, and how do I display it? That for me was a very good and very revealing as well, because we all have an essence, and some people are aware of it. Some of us are not aware of it. My essence is joy, and then I coach from that standpoint. Hence the word joy in the book as well, because it is about that. It is this deep connection that I have, and I will talk about a bit later on as well about the connection, because there's a big link there as well. So, sure. Yeah. And then from then it took me another 2 years to write the book, and then another 3 years up to now to really distill and create what I am now calling hard decoding. It is because finding your purpose, it's not coming from the head, it is coming from your heart. It is when you have this big awakening from the ego mind to the soul, and then from the soul you are going to the self. So this is what I focus on when I work with people.
Very interesting. I like how you learned early on something that I think a lot of coaches and consultants and even some business people probably have to learn, and maybe they haven't learned it yet, but you mentioned that when you first get started, you feel like that you can help everybody, and that everybody is your customer, everybody is your client. You can coach anyone, and you quickly discover trying to serve everybody is just not sustainable. But that caused you, a lot of people would give up at that point out of frustration, but what I like about your story is that you went and began to go deep with yourself to figure out who you are, why you are here, and then naturally that translates into who you're supposed to be working with, and it's a very unique type of person that is going to benefit from your unique gifts and skills. So tell us a little bit more about how that works. Once you discovered your purpose, how does that become your new business of reaching people?
Because from when you start to understand, a lot of people are going into the why and the what and then the how. I go from, before you go to your why, you need to know the who you are.
That's very important. I mean, that's a simple distinction, but you're exactly right. Everyone says it starts with why and then what and then how, but you're saying we got to start with who. That's actually very profound.
Yes. And so once you know who you are, what is your essence, then that is being translated into your blessing. Okay, so it is the your essence. It's the bone, and then you put some flesh on the bone. So when you go from who you are, your essence. And when you speak to someone, it comes from a different place, from a place of love, from your heart to the heart of someone else. What I have found over the years in marketing, there's no more. There's no love. It's just purely, copying someone else. No, they have a message. You need to be able to copy, and then it will work for you. It doesn't. You have to be in love with your message, with who you are, and then what you do, and then you have your why. Then say who, why, what, and then the how. But the how will happen automatically.
I love that, and I think you're exactly right about being in love with who you are and the people that you're trying to help. And you can't just achieve that by copying someone else's method or approach or their message. It's kind of interesting when I see these marketing ads where they're offering to give me their templates, their emails for something that worked for them and something that made them a lot of money. And if I take it and use it, it's supposed to make me a lot of money, but that's not really authentic or genuine. That's really jumping straight to the how. How do I make the money instead of who am I? Why am I here? What are my gifts and what are the problems and problems I solve and the results that I deliver? And then how do I craft a message that is based on connecting deeply with people? That's a process not many people have the patience to go through, is it?
Exactly. And that takes a bit of time as well. It took me over 8 years to really craft this message. I now have a framework which enables me to go very deep, very, very quickly. And then I can then take that and then just really craft this message, because I call it purposeful marketing. So it is really it is coming from your soul, not from your head. It is coming from your soul. Your soul will tell you what to do, but you need to understand the language, because the soul will not talk to you just like that. You need to really, it is coming from your heart. So if you are in alignment with your heart, your gut, and then your head, then you have those three centers who are in full alignment. Then you are able to move forward.
I really like that. And I am someone who is advocating for a paradigm shift in marketing. I think that
big time.
Yeah. If we continue, and especially for new people just getting started with their business, or even if they've been at it for a while, if you do what everybody else does, you're going to get what everybody else gets. And eventually the market kind of discovers that everyone is drinking the same Kool-Aid, and it's not, I think in time, people who do that are going to find their returns diminishing to practically nothing at all, because the market just will not tolerate that for so long.
Yeah. And they are going to burn out, for sure. There's no doubt about that. It's not sustainable. You have to look at, other ways. We are creators in the end. We create. So why do we have to copy?
Right. Yeah. So you work with a lot of coaches. You're the author of the Joy of Connection book, specifically how to find your coaching niche. With the people that you work with, and you've got different programs. You do group coaching, you do one-on-one coaching. What is the most common problem you see? The biggest obstacle with the people that you're trying to help? What is their number one difficulty in your opinion?
In my opinion, it is the head. They're just in the head. It's like they are. Well, I call it they are in the head bubble. They have this bubble, and then they will just stay there. So until they burst the bubble and then go down to the heart, and then really, it is a sense, a feeling. It's not an an emotion, the emotion comes from the mind. The mind will say, okay, it is pure energy in motion. But before you have that, you have to go down to your heart and really sense it. There are no words. It's just purely a sense. You need to understand this language. And this is the language of the heart.
So we've got to get out of our head and get into our heart. And I guess the head is the propensity to copy what we see other people doing, what we see other people saying in their marketing, their ads, their brand. And we try to copy that. And we really have not made the deep connection to our own selves. So how do we do that? And I realize that it took you a number of years, but yet you have learned some distinctions to help people get to that place of clarity. How do we get there? What are some of the first steps that we need to consider to get out of our head and get into our heart and really get the clarity that we need in our business?
Okay. Well, the first step, what I've taken through a process called from courage to peace. So the courage is coming from it is when your belly is in anger. There's rage, and then you have the core, which is your heart. Then you have this courage. Once you have that, so it is like you have the fire of the belly, which meets the heart, and the heart has those sparkles. Once you have that, then that goes to your mind, and then you are able to take the first step. Once you are there, you need to be able to respond to things. So you have this responsibility. You have the ability to respond to things, and however you want to respond will dictate, how things are going. So that will go into your belief systems, your values, and all that. Once you are fully responding, and once you have this ability to respond to things, you are moving on to the acceptance. Okay, and the acceptance, which you have no doubts, you have no fears, and you have to let go at wanting to have security, wanting to have control over things, and then this approval. Once you have that, you move on to the peace, and the peace, it is bliss.
Well, you make it sound really easy, and
it is easy.
Well, but what I always say is, if it were that easy, then everybody would just automatically do this, and they would. It wouldn't take them years to figure it out. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to self-help, the biggest hindrance to self-help is yourself. Yeah. If you could have figured it out, you would have. So that's where someone like you can come in and can work with someone and can really help them get to where they want to be a lot faster, because you've already made those distinctions. What do you do with someone in a coaching situation to help them get through this process?
Well, first they have to have the willingness to do the work. When we say hard work, it is hard work. It is hard work. It is hard work to look at yourself. Not a lot of people want to look at themselves. Mm-hmm. That is the first thing. To have the willingness to look at yourself. All too often we look outside, whereby we should look inside first. So we have this willingness of wanting to really understand ourselves. And then we need to start to slow down. We have this wanting to do things all the time, this doingness, as I call it. We are we like to be busy, right, for the sake of being busy. I had a client once, she was a serial entrepreneur. She was really busy. She had, she started a business in London, one in Prague, and one in New York. And she was always busy. So when I started to work with her, after a few months, we just started to slow down. The more you slow down, the more you are start to be in this beingness. And the beingness, it's not just, okay, you just, stand still and then just meditate and, it's not about that. The beingness, it is really taking, having this attention and then the intention of doing things. So once you start to slow down, write down, then you are aware. You have an increased awareness of what's around you. And then you will achieve much more than by just being rather than doing. Because through the beingness, you are doing, but not as fast as you normally do it.
Yeah. So I guess it's being more effective with what you are doing. It's not taking no action at all, but it's it's acting from your being as opposed to being busy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, you have this model, and I'm sure that some of your listeners have heard of the be, do, have model, where, be times do equal have, okay? But we are so focused on the doing because we have to do more. And, especially now with social media, we have to post on Facebook, we have to post on Twitter, we have to post on LinkedIn, we have to post on this and post on that. It's all doing, but not much being there. So if you post less, but put some meaningful content out there rather than just purely about, nothingness. It's just it has to be something which is meaningful. And then once you are in this being of having the right intention, then you will, start to create things, and then things are going to go much faster.
That's a really good advice for people who feel like they are overwhelmed with all of the business things they have to do, and then all of the marketing things that they have to do, all the social media posts that they have to do, all the content that they have to create, and it's a never-ending battle to keep up with everything. And so I think what you have to say is very powerful and is really needed to help us get to that place. Enrico, what are you working on right now that has got you really excited that you'd like to share with our listeners?
At the moment, I'm working on my group coaching program, and it's a 10-week program, and I take the people from where they are now to where they are. If you see what I mean, it is a journey back to them. So it's not just a circle; it is a spiral, because we often don't understand where we are. So it is a journey back to them. So I take them on this 10-week program. It's a 5-step process, and it's the whole of the heart decoding blueprint put into a 10-week program.
I like that. So how can our listeners find out more about you? Where do they go to find out about this and the other programs, and also about your book?
Okay. Well, if they want to contact me, they can go to my website, which is www.enricomassani. I spell Enrico for you, ENRICOMASSANI.com. They can just there, or they can contact me on Facebook as well at Hello Enrico Massani. They can just get me there. And if they want to look at the book, they can go on Amazon. The Joy of Connection by Enrico Massani. And then you can go on Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk as well. So.
Perfect. Well, I think this is very helpful. And so to our listeners, if you're struggling, if you're overwhelmed with all the things you think that you have to do, and especially if you have not found your coaching niche. If you are just getting started, or maybe you've been at this for a while and you've had just enough business to keep you interested, but you really have not tapped into your niche. I encourage you to reach out to Enrico and see if his resources can help you to find your niche and to get clear about who you are and who you're here to serve. So, Enrico, this has been very enlightening. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom you'd like to share with our listeners before we say goodbye?
Yeah, sure. I have one quote from our friend Plato, which I really, really love. It's called, "Love is the name of our pursuit for wholeness, for our desire to be complete."
I really like how that integrates, how you integrate love with business and with life. And I think that's a real rebelpreneur mindset. So it's been great. Enrico Massani is someone with a unique intuitive ability to go deep with clients, to quickly uncover their why and lead them to clarity. He is the author of The Joy of Connection, How to Find Your Coaching Niche. You can find out more at enricomassani.com. Enrico, it's been a real pleasure to get to know you. Thanks so much for being on Rebelpreneur Radio today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Charles. It has been a pleasure.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogdon. Download the show notes and much more at rebelpreneur.com.